What if I told you that there's this force hidden in pretty much every myth, every story, and yeah, even inside your own mind? It's a force that completely defies logic, it loves contradiction, and it plays by absolutely no rules but its own.
And what if that mischievous, disruptive, and totally unpredictable power, the one that challenges everything we think is stable and real, what if it isn't just some ancient god, but a living, breathing part of your own psyche? Okay, let's get into this, because today we are talking all about the trickster.
So, for as long as humans have been telling stories, we've been trying to put a name and a face to this chaotic energy. You see, cultures all over the world, they recognize this figure, kind of lurking at the edges of all their myths.
In Norse mythology, for example, he's Loki, the shape-shifting god of mischief whose deceptions, well, they end up unraveling the entire power of Asgard, setting the stage for Ragnarok.
The ancient Greeks, they knew him as Hermes, that cunning, super quick-witted messenger who could just zip between the worlds of the gods, mortals, and the dead, crossing boundaries nobody else would even dare to.
And in so many Native American traditions, he pops up as Coyote, a spirit who teaches these incredibly profound lessons through acts of both amazing wisdom and sometimes just pure foolishness.
Or you've got West African folklore where he's Anansi, the spider god. He uses his cleverness to outwit anyone powerful, spin these incredible webs of trickery, and basically rewrite the rules of the entire world.
So you see the pattern here, right? Even though they come from totally different places, these figures all share this core identity. They're not simply heroes or villains. Nah, they live in the gray spaces. They are creators and destroyers. They challenge authority, and they use deception to reveal really uncomfortable truths. They are the ultimate shapeshifters.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The trickster isn't just some dusty character from an old story. The psychologist Carl Jung came along with this revolutionary idea. This figure is a fundamental part of the human mind. He is an archetype that lives inside every single one of us.
For Jung, an archetype is kind of like a piece of psychic software that we're all born with. So he saw the trickster not just as a story, but as a living psychic force deep in our collective unconscious, pulling the strings on our behavior whether we realize it or not.
So, what does that actually look like? How does this force live inside a modern human being, just going about their day? Well, it's that little whisper of doubt that challenges everything you think you know for sure. It's that sudden rebellious impulse to color outside the lines. It's the part of you that just can't help but see how absurdly serious everything is.
I mean, think about how it shows up in your daily life. Ever sabotage yourself right when things were going great? Or, that slip of the tongue that reveals maybe a little too much truth? What about that nervous laugh during a dead serious moment? Yeah, that's the trickster, bubbling up from your unconscious to throw a wrench in your carefully constructed reality.
And this gets us to the most crucial point, the trickster archetype. It has two faces. It can be a destructive saboteur that just trips you up again and again, or it can be a catalyst for incredible growth and transformation. The big question is, which one is running the show for you?
See, on one hand, the trickster's shadow side can lead straight to self-destruction, cruel cynicism, and just pointless chaos. It's the part of us that gets stuck repeating the same dumb mistakes. But on the other hand, that exact same energy can be a catalyst. It's what breaks you out of a rut, sparks creativity, and challenges those rigid beliefs, forcing you to adapt and to grow.
A perfect way to get this is the court jester. Think about it. In a medieval court, the jester was the only person who could speak the absolute, unfiltered truth to the king, who is basically our ego, without getting their head chopped off. He used humor and absurdity like a shield for his wisdom, exposing all the hypocrisy and stopping the king from becoming a total tyrant.
And this brings us to a really critical warning. The moment we try to consciously control this energy, when we start thinking we're the master of our own wit and cleverness, that's when the trickster turns on us. The second you start identifying with it, believing you're smarter than everyone else, it sets you up for a massive fall. Hubris is its absolute favorite target.
Okay, so if we can't control it, and we know ignoring it is dangerous, what are we supposed to do? Well, the goal isn't to defeat the trickster. It's to learn how to dance with it. It's about engaging that energy consciously for your own growth, instead of just letting it cause chaos from the shadows.
So let's break it down. Here are 4 pretty practical steps for working with this powerful force inside you. This is all about turning that unconscious saboteur into a conscious ally.
First, just start to notice. Seriously, when those accidents happen or you have those embarrassing moments, don't just brush them off. Get curious. If you keep finding yourself in the exact same frustrating situation over and over, ask yourself, what illusion is being shattered here? What is my mind trying to tell me?
Second, and this is a big one, laugh. Humor is the trickster's native language. When you can genuinely laugh at your own ego, your own seriousness, your own mistakes, you take away its power to humiliate you. Laughter creates this little pocket of psychological breathing room, and it turns embarrassment into a chance for freedom.
Third, question your certainties. The trickster loves to show up and break systems that have become way too rigid. So whenever you find yourself absolutely 100% convinced that you're right, that's a red flag. Consciously challenge your own beliefs. It keeps you flexible and stops dogma from setting in.
And finally, integrate the lesson. Once you see the pattern, you find the humor in it, and you question the certainty, you can actually use that insight. You can transform the chaos from something that just disrupts your life into the raw material for something totally new. You make the trickster a partner in your own evolution.
Because at the end of the day, change is coming. One way or another, the trickster makes sure of that. The only real choice we have is whether we're going to be a passive victim of that change, constantly tripped up by chaos, or an active participant who uses that very same energy to grow.
So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Because the trickster's greatest joke is always on us. The exact moment we think we're in complete control, that we finally got it all figured out, that's the precise moment it shows up to prove us wrong. So, what rigid belief in your life is it inviting you to laugh at today?